So the show is Prudent Woman with myself, Rulani Baloyu. We are excited to have you this afternoon and thank you for joining us. I would like to say to all the mothers, happy Mother's Day. I trust that the mothers have been enjoying themselves. I know some of you are listening to this show later after there's Ed because you took some time to be with family. And we appreciate all the people who celebrate women, who acknowledges that women are a very important aspect of society. There is something that the Lord has given unto us which cannot be replaced. I trust that everyone knows that what a mother is, because each and every person here on earth came through a mother, and they are taken care of by mothers. And even myself at this age, I would like to say happy Mother's Day to my very own mother, my biological mother, and my spiritual mother, because you never grow old to not want your mom. That's why in most of the times mother and people, when they are in danger, the first word that comes out is money, to show how important mothers are. So today's show, we are celebrating mothers, and as Prudent Women, as we come through to you through Bold Moves Radio, we would like to celebrate this day by acknowledging a very important aspect of society, the fact that we have two different mothers that society is faced with today. We've got working mothers and we've got stay-at-home mothers. And we would like to invite you and say, society keeps on evolving. You will all agree with me that back then, mothers were expected to be the stay-at-home mothers. And when you are staying at home, looking after your children, you were considered to be a good and a successful mother. But things have changed. In this 21st century, society now expects mothers to be working, to contribute financially. And again, because most of us mothers, you find that they are single parents and they need to go out and look for employment to take care of their children, more especially because things have generally changed. The economy is totally different from what it was back then. But this show comes to you to highlight the importance of these two types of mothers, and also to bring along awareness, because these societal expectations have brought along a misunderstanding. We are observing a lot of young women who are saying, I want to be a career woman, and they choose to stay away from being parents. They say, I don't want to be married, I don't want to have children because I want to be a career woman. And we have the very few who are bold and say, I want to be a stay-home mother. And this conversation, we would like to strike a balance, because as Prudent Women, we believe we are women who take intentional decisions which are informed. As society, if we are to stay and say we are not going to have children, then there is no future, because we say our future is based on us women giving birth, ensuring that we have children to take forth what we are currently building. So we would like to bring this awareness, and I have with me tonight Sesthandiwe Matebele, who is a legal practitioner. She's a working mother. And I have as well Sesintwana Nonkuna. She is a stay-home mother, but this mother is a stay-home mother who was at some point a working mother. So we are blessed to have both of you ladies, whom through your conversations, through your sharing of your life experience, and also your observations of the expectations of society, you will allow us to be able to zoom in into these two categories of women and how we can strike a balance. Because what is important is to strike a balance in society, as we acknowledge that we are not living lives for our own self, but we are living for the benefit of society and for all those who shall come forth after us. So I would like to invite you, Sesintwana, thank you so much for joining us. I would like to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself.
Oh, good afternoon, good evening, all prudent ladies out there. And Sesi Rulani, thank you so much for the invitation, and happy Mother's Day to you too. Oh, so who is Ntwanano? Ntwanano is a mother, Ntwanano is a wife, And as you were saying in the introductions, that now I'll be representing the stay-at-home mothers, but that doesn't mean to say that this mother um, is not even contributing financially to her household. So I'm raising a young adult, a 21-year-old. I have a 14-year-old and an 8-year-old. So you can imagine that it's quite a handful. You're dealing with, teenager, a child, and a young adult, and also a wife while being at that. So maybe to just strike this conversation, how it came about that, I became a stay-at-home mom. I had to make a choice. I had to make a choice because for me, at the place where I was at, in terms of my working life, there came a time where mentally, or my mental health made was so difficult that it was impacting negatively on my role as a mother. So I had to make that decision that in order for me to mother my children well, and in order for me to be a good wife, I needed to take care of my mental health. And I had to leave that space at that moment, which I'm still doing. But while at that, I'm not sitting idle, just waiting, for Mondays to come, pick up the kids from school and do this and that. There are things that, I'm doing on the side that make me to be active economically and to contribute to my household. So for me, that balance, striking, that balance, being a good mother and also being to able to cater for my family, it had to come to. But yeah, as we go on, I will try and
Yes.
explain what is happening. Thank you.
Thank you, Sesintwanano. And yes, of course, I love it when you say you had to strike a balance and you had to take care of yourself. And that's
Mm,
what we advocate for as prudent women, to say one needs to consider society, but we should not allow society to define us. But it's
mm,
very important to take care of ourselves. So as we go along with the talk, I trust that you're going to be sharing your story and other women will be learning from it. And I would like to remind everyone to say, with this talk, we are not saying there's any role that is perfect, but it goes with the conditions of a person, where the space you find yourself. So both either working or stay home mom, for me, it's good enough. As you have heard, Sesintwanan, it's all
mm.
about you taking care of yourself and understanding who you are. And as we continue, I would like to invite Sis Tandiwe. Sis Tandiwe, will you like to introduce yourself even as we start the show?
Indeed. Thank you for the invite. Like you said, my name is Tandiwe Machevela. I am a mother to a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old, and I am a working mom. Currently, I am working as a director at Worksmans. And yeah, I'm enjoying both roles, I must say. For
Yeah.
me, um, I don't know anything else except being a working mom, and so for me, I'm scared of the other side. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm very comfortable where I am, and I'm loving it. Obviously, I must say that it comes at when you are a working lady. Obviously, when you become a mother, it depends at what stage in your career are you a mother, and at what stage in your career are you a wife. So yeah, I'm also a wife and a
Mm.
working mom. So yeah, I'm enjoying both roles, I must say. But the biggest thing is striking a balance between the two roles.
No, that's for sure the biggest thing. striking a balance and being able to cope with what you believe you can cope with, not allowing society to define who you are. And that is the basis of this conversation. I would like us to take an ad break. And when we come back, I would like us to now zoom into Mother's Day, just for the two of you to say to us, what is it that you believe Mother's Day represents? Or what are your expectations? Because this day is very special, but again, it can be very daunting if your expectations are too high, because
Yeah.
you may have huge expectations and only to find your loved ones not playing that role. And it's very important, and more especially as ladies, because something that was meant to be a good thing can turn out to be something else. So let us go on an ad break. When we come back, I would like us to talk about this special day, Mother's Day. Thank you so much. You are listening to Bold Moves Radio. The show is Prudent Woman with myself, Rulani Baloi. We continue right there. We were unable to go on an ad break, but I see. Yeah, let us take an ad break. We'll be right back with you. Sorry about that. Welcome to Bold Moves Radio. The show is Prudent Woman with myself, with Rulani Baloi. We come to you every Sunday from 4 o'clock until 5 o'clock. You are listening to Bold Moves Radio. Today we are talking on Mother's Day as we celebrate mothers, and we are talking on the conversation of striking a balance between a working mother and a stay-at-home mother. I have with me here on studio Sesintwanano and Sestandiwe. Before we went on an ad break, we were talking about Mother's Day, the importance of Mother's Day. Yes, it's being celebrated globally, but I would like to believe each and every nation has got its own expectations, which is mostly crafted by the culture that prevails within that nation. And as a nation, as South Africa, the unfortunate part of this day is that it has been commercialized more than what the day it's meant to be. We were talking last week through the research that I've made was that Mother's Day was a day where ladies came together to teach each other about taking care of their children. And unfortunately, today, as we speak, it's commercialized. You go everywhere. On Friday, I went to the shops. I was shocked by the number of men whom I saw speaking to shop attendants, asking them, what is it that I can buy? And, and automatically I realized that, yeah, this day has been commercialized. I wonder how many women sit back and say, it's Mother's Day. What does it mean to me? So I would like to invite you, say, Ntwanan, what does Mother's Day represent to you?
Well, for me, Mother's Day represents celebrating the mothers. And mothers, for me, it's not because you've physically given birth to a child. Mothers are caregivers. Mothers that really takes care of the young ones. It's also about acknowledging that, we see you. We see the role that you play in our families. We see the role that you play in the communities as well. And it's also about affirming them, telling them that
Yes.
you are doing so well. You are
Mm.
doing well despite all the challenges that we are faced with. I literally think that, with us as parents or mothers in this century, we face more challenges that more than our parents faced, because our
Mm.
children are exposed to so many things. And even if you can think to yourself that I'm being a good mother to my children, there are a
Yes.
lot of outside influences that,
Mm. Mm.
they can impact negatively at the good work that you are trying to do as a mother. So by saying this, I'm saying, in celebrating Mother's Day, it's basically about celebrating our mothers and just to pat them at the back to say, you are doing a great job.
Mm. Mm. And that's very important, Sesintwana, to for us, you know, being a mother, it's a great work. And it's a lot of work. So to have that time when society stands back and say you are doing a great job, because it requires a whole lot. And I know you speak from experience. In your opening, you said there came a time where you felt you needed to take time and step back and say, I'm not in a good space. Probably I need to stand back, go home, and look after my family. So I would like to invite Sis Tandiwe. What does Mother's Day represent to you as a working mother and an attorney for such a big family? I know, the amount of work that you are faced with.
For me, it feels like a honeymoon every year. So I I get to
Yeah.
sit back and look at the journey that I've walked with my boys, and
Mm,
it's and thank myself.
yes.
It's the day where I literally uh, don't feel bad about being selfish. It's
Mm,
the day that I sit back and watch my boys running around for me.
mm,
And yeah, it's a day that I literally sit and do nothing and just reflect on the journey that we've walked, and sort of try and have a picture of where we are going with the boys. So it's, yeah, for me, it's like Sesson Donano said, it's a day where we get to appreciate and acknowledge motherhood, and
mm,
sort of tell each other that we are doing well, and where someone feels overwhelmed, we make them feel better. And yeah, for me, it's, without this day, I don't know if I would ever sit back as a working mother and just be okay with not doing anything and just watch
mm,
things unfold. So it's a relaxing day. It's a day of appreciation. It's a day
mm,
of Thanksgiving, because being a mother, it's overwhelming, and it's a
yeah.
day that you feel good to receive, be it tea, be it
Mm,
burnt eggs, but it's a day that little things mean a lot, and you get
yeah.
to see how much you are appreciated. It's like you also getting to get some fuel, like the boys are putting more fuel into the tank for you to start again tomorrow and nurture them and love them. So it's a day of reflection and a day of
Mm,
appreciating anything.
yes.
Yeah.
I understand where you come from to say to have a day where you are doing nothing and you feel good by sitting and not doing anything. And it's days like this, special days are very important for us to reflect back. And it's very important that one, does take the time to reflect back. And I would like to appreciate all our viewers and our listeners whom I'm seeing here on Facebook. Says Angie Maluleke, says Charity Mashele, says Dolim Mhlari, and Mama Islands Vuma. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. And if you have just joined us, we are talking on a topic about working mothers and stay at home mothers, because we understand that society has got its own expectations that we are expected to fall in. So we wanted to bring this conversation just to alert everyone to say there is nothing wrong with you taking a step back and choosing one of the two, because it's how you feel and the strength that you have. And Sesintwanano, as a stay-home mom, what will you say is the value, what is your experience as a stay-home mom versus what society expects of you as a mother?
Wow. Um, I actually like what you said in the introduction when you were saying that we are prudent women. We take intentional decisions and we do not
Mm,
allow society to define us.
yes.
With parenting or with being a mother, there is no manual that you can use to say that this is how I want to mother my children. This is how I
Mm,
want a parent to my children. It's basically different strokes for different folks. So for me, the value of, the decision that I took in the introductions, I said that as much as I'm a stay-at-home mother, I also
mm,
have that freedom to do what I need to do to contribute financially in the household. But again, the value of being present in my children's lives, is unmatched. Because for me,
yes.
it's those moments that, for example, there were times when I lived from suitcase to suitcase. I'd come
Yes.
home on a Friday, Sunday, I'm
Mm,
picking up again, I'm away for the whole week. And it really takes a toll on you. You really
yes.
miss out very much important miles in the lives of your children. And also that even as a person by then, I felt, I was going through a lot, taking so much stress. And even that,
Mm,
those little moments that I spent with my family, they did not add so much value. So, I really had to come to that decision to say, you know, how do I balance this at the end of the day? And to be
mm,
honest with you, it's working for me. Hence, I'm saying different strokes for different folks. Now I'm a
yes.
stay-at-home mom. I'm able to attend to those things, those little things that really matter to me, those little
Mm,
things that matter to my children. I am able to engage and communicate with them in better ways that I was not able to before. Sometimes even when I don't talk to them, you just look at them and see that, this one did not have a good day at school today. So I'm
mm,
able to be, that bring that comfort to them, attend to their needs, while I also have time to do the
mm,
things that I need to do to contribute to the household as well.
mm, mm. Yes, Sesintwanano, that is, of course, your experience and how I would like to believe you took an intentional decision, a decision that will not fit on everyone. It's not a one size fits all, but
Mm,
it's a decision that is based on your own conditions. And at least I'm previewed because we had a chat before, and I understand it was mainly based on the type of work that you were doing. So it's very important for one to reflect, have time where you reflect and take care of your mental being, and not just allow. When we say we should not allow society to define us is that, at times you find that I'm working, but the space that I'm working is not the same as what Mrs. Ntwanano is doing. And I expect things to be exactly the same as what she's experiencing. And it can never be. We are experiencing different things. But again, we are unique individuals with different strengths and weaknesses and with different expectations. And one thing that worries me lately is that I have observed most of the young women who want to have families, they believe they need not be working. They think they must stay at home. But when you look at what the economy is presenting, some of them, it may not be feasible, but for some, it may be feasible. But I said, we need to talk about these things. We need to talk about them, to bring forth all the options that are out there. And I know, Sesintwanano, as we continue the conversation, you, as you said, you are contributing towards the upbringing of your children and the upkeep of the family. There are things that you are doing because, when we talk fourth industrial revolution, it has brought in a lot of opportunities that one needs to take part in, but you can only make use of the opportunities to your benefit if you are aware of them. On that note, says Tandiwe, as a working mother, what is your experience?
Yes, taking from what Sasintwanano has said to say, different strokes for different folks, and also it depends on what type of environment you're working at, and also whether or not it affects your mental health. Obviously, you can't be a good mother if your mental health is not in a good, if you're not in a good space as a mother, you know.
Yes.
What I can say for me is, as a working mom, obviously, it's important to have your structure at place. What I mean by structure, to acknowledge your strengths, and to use your support base. Some of us are fortunate enough that we still have moms that are able that are able to step in, and
Yes.
that, for me, I appreciate it so much. Without her, I think maybe this journey would have been difficult.
Mm,
But because she's there, she's chipping in whenever I need assistance. She does. And also, being a working mom, it also, I must say that it comes at where in your career are you. If you are
mm,
still in your in for a legal profession, I would say if you are still a candidate attorney, being a mom is
mm.
close to being impossible. But when you go up the ranks, when you climb the corporate ladder, it becomes
Yes.
easy, because now you know what you're doing, you know what is expected of you, and also you also know how to communicate what what your wishes as a mom.
Your
We are
expectations,
so,
yes.
yes, expectations. We are so fortunate that we also working with male figures that would like to be present in their kids' life. It's not like back in the days where dad, you'd only see dad once a month or once a year. So they understand the role of being a present mother, and
Mm,
when you communicate and you're able to do your work, you have a structure, you're able to do your work in terms of your routine, it becomes much easier, I must say.
mm,
So my
mm,
experience is, as a working mom, you do need a structure, and that structure enables you to balance, because during the week, like for instance, myself, during the
mm,
week, I don't work at home. I do not work on weekends. So my team understands that and they respect that. So it's about balance and
mm.
communicating with your team, and making use of your support structure.
Thank you, says Tandiwe. So the support structure is very important. And what I love there, it's a mother again comes in. See how important a mother figure is in our lives. Even when ourselves, we have our own mother families, our own people who are calling us mothers, but we still rely on mothers in our own right. So I would like us to go on an ad break. When we come back, we shall continue the conversation. We are talking on mothers who are working and mothers who are stay at home, just to bring in that conversation to say it is possible. You can either do one of those and nothing is wrong. But what's important is for one to be able to do what they believe they represent and what they would love to be. Let us go on an ad break. We'll be right back with you. Welcome back. You are listening to Bold Moves Radio. The show is Prudent Woman with myself, Rulani Baloi. We are having our special edition for Mother's Day as we celebrate all the mothers. I would like to say Happy Mother's Day to each and every woman. Either you have a child biologically and all the caregivers as mothers. Happy Mother's Day. I trust that you are enjoying yourself. We have with us Sis Tandiwe and Sis Ntwanano. We are talking about mothers who are working and mothers who are staying at home. Before we went on an ad break, Sisi Tandiwe, you were talking on the support structure, and also you highlighted on the issue of the level where you are within your career. So that to me brought about a thought of saying, then it matters when one want to start to have a family. Because I would like to believe, most especially in your career, uh, probably it may not be ideal to be a mother whilst you are a candidate attorney, because there's a whole lot of expectations and expectations and legislation that says you should have done 1, 2, 3, and 4 for you to be finally admitted. So I would like to believe it's very important that one is aware of their career, what are the expectations, and also I would like to engage you. How do you now bring about the discussion of you being a mother in the workplace? Because I know most people, that's where the problem is. You find that I'm a mother, even when the child is sick, I'm scared to talk about it. Or sometimes my employer is not even aware of my condition as a mother. How do you bring it to your employer?
Fortunately, in a law firm structure, we work in teams, and obviously, teams are there to sort of assist each other when one is lacking. So the first thing is communication. You need to communicate your not over obviously do not overshare, but communicate where you are in terms of your personal life and what are your values in that regard. And when you're able to communicate those things, your employer is able to sort of find a team that is suitable for you, a team that is also respect family values, and like it's all about being authentic. So if you are authentic, you will be placed in a team that understands the type of person that you are, your values, and everything that comes with it. Obviously, I must state that it's not easy. You need to pull up your weight as well when you are supposed to deliver. So, if for instance, I deliver on my deliverables, there's no need for anyone to be following up on me and finding out where is that document, because when I'm expected to deliver, I deliver. And when there is an emergency, it becomes an emergency and they're able to step in from there. So being open, authentic, and communicating is it's the key in the profession when you want be a mother and strike a balance. Like I say, my team knows that after 7 I don't answer calls, before 9 I don't answer calls. So
Mm,
whatever that needs to be done, it needs to be done within a certain time. And they also understand that during weekends I'm unavailable, unless if there is a smoke or the building is burning.
spelling.
That's when I will literally jump in. But when there isn't any emergency or anything of that sort, I've taught my team to respect my boundaries.
That's very important, to note, because what I'm hearing, it's a woman who can stand for herself. You are able to be upfront and set the boundaries that you expect each and everyone to respect around you. But what's more important, it's your diligence. At times when we have set boundaries, when you're not diligent enough, it tends to interfere, because even the very team that you expect to observe the boundaries that you have set, they cannot, because you are not diligent. You just walk away and say, because I am taking care of my children. But if you do your part and finish, and only at that time when you have done your part, and is that time when you have said, I'm not available, indeed
Mm.
you go off, then it makes life easier. So I love what you say about being diligent. Sesintwanano, as a stay-home mom, you know, we should acknowledge that technology has made it possible. And again, yes, thanks God to COVID, even though some of the employers are going back to it. But I think it hastened us to be in another sanctuary, where for one to do certain things, you don't have to be physically there, because systems and resources are in place for you to do them. So I would like to invite you just to share with us, as a stay home mom, how you are making a financial contribution to your family, even as you stay at home. It doesn't, what I got from your introduction was that it doesn't mean when we say you are a stay home mom, you just stay and watch TV the whole day, but there are things that you're doing beyond just looking after your family.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was, quite a transition, because honestly speaking, when I left the working space, I was working in the NGO sector for most of my career life, 16 plus years. So what actually happened was that while I was still transitioning, um, I got introduced to the sales field. And remember, you are talking to a person who said that, in my life, I've never even sold bubble gum. I
Yeah.
can't.
Mm,
That was the whole attitude. But I took time and listened to this person who was presenting this to me. So I joined a direct selling company for some premium cookware, and
mm,
the rest is history. I found that I could actually make money, even much more
yes.
money than I was making while
Mm,
working 9 to 5, while missing out on my children's soccer matches and all those things. I found out that, I can actually work here, even make more money, while I'll also juggle my role as a mother. So for me, other than that, recently I just found out that my hobby, I love baking, also
mm,
brings in some money, because people would now taste my baked goodies and ask, why are you not selling? And if they
yes.
say, I need a 20 liter, a 5 liter, I put a price tag on it, and a week doesn't go by where I don't even have sales. So, even my hobby now, it's bringing in money on the side. And yeah, I'm just loving it, the space that I'm at, that something I'm passionate about, something that doesn't even feel like a job, it's bringing in
Mm,
money while at it, I'm still able to do the things that I want to do with my family as well.
Yes, I intentionally asked you that question because I wanted to bring an awareness, more especially to those stay-at-home mothers, those who are not staying at home by design, but is because of other conditions. Sometimes you find that you have not been able to find a job. To say you don't have to stay at home and not do anything, but there's a whole lot of things that one can do out there, which you can be able to contribute towards the financial upkeeping of your family, and as well for you to find that, that satisfaction. It's nice when you find that you are doing something that you love beyond just waking up and going to work because society expects of you to do that. I would like us to go on an ad break. When we come back, says Tandiwe, I know society and the recent talks around traumas and recent parenting that has been going on and on, as society we have been sparked by issues of mental health, more especially even with young children. I would like you, says Tandiwe, to just share with us your feelings around such talks that society brings about, because they've got a tendency of making you feel inadequate as a mom, more especially when you wake up and go to work, to say maybe I'm not a good parent because I'm chasing after my own career and forgetting about these two beautiful creatures that the Lord has blessed me with. Let us go on an ad break. When we come back, we shall continue with the conversation. Welcome to Bold Moves Radio. The show is Prudent Woman with myself, Rulani Baloyi. As we continue with the conversation, I would like to say thank you for joining us. We are having our talk this Sunday. As we celebrate Mother's Day, we are talking on mothers who stay at home and mothers who are working. And thank you, says Eugenia Mageza. As you said, you are proud of this this stay-at-home mom who is actually a working from home mom. Says Ntwana, she's referring to you. And we are proud of you, as a mother, to say, just to be able to take that first step and say, this is not working for me. I need to look after myself. What is it that I can do? It's a bold step. Not all of us can be able to do that. I would like to invite you, says Sitandiwe. Before we went on an ad break, we spoke about the traumas and the parenting styles that are currently, in the talks recently, more especially when we look at mental health issues for children, because we have seen children committing suicide, and society is very quick to say it is all because the mother was not there. Has this made you feel inadequate? And what will you like to say to mothers who also feel that way?
Thank you very much for that, bringing this conversation to the table. I must say that women, other mothers are our biggest enemies because, like, for instance, I remember you'll find women chatting or belittling each other about what type of, how did you elect to give birth, finding that mothers that gave birth naturally look down upon mothers that gave birth via cesarean, mothers who breastfeed look down upon mothers that sort of elect to give formula. Sometimes it's not even an election; it's
Mm,
circumstances that drive you there. So I'm very happy that you asked this, and for me, it's as women, as we celebrate this day, we should stop having those conversations. They don't take anyone anywhere. They sort
mm,
of bring doubt to other mothers that are trying their best to be the best mothers to their own children in their own ways, you know.
mm,
And what I've also noted in your commentary is that, you know, you either choice it works, and it
yeah,
depends on how it works for your family. And
mm,
maybe we should start looking upon that and sort of celebrating um those good things that come out of each choice of either being a working mom or either being a stay-home mom. For me, like I said, it's all about I respect my structure and I respect my boundaries, and I've sort of developed an ignorant attitude towards bad commentary about working mothers. For me, it's what works for me and my kids. Um, will do that. You know, what people
mm,
think about my parenting styles, it's neither here nor there. For me, is are my kids happy? Is hubby happy? And am I happy? Do I have more time to give to my kids? If I do, surely I'll do that. If I don't, I will communicate that to the children. But society just needs to stop looking down upon either working moms or stay at home moms, because it's a difficult role. Like Sasintwana said, there's no manual. We all
mm,
try to make it work.
mm, mm. Yes, it's very important that one knows who they are and not consider what and not allow society to define who they are. And of course, the same thing can go for you, Sesintwanano. You know, someone may be looking at you and say, what type of a mother is this one who quit a job and go and stay at home, more especially in this day and age? What will you like to say to women who are in a similar position as yourself?
um, yeah, and I've heard that before. What type of woman quits a job? She had an office, a fridge, and a big table, and she quit her job only to go and sell cookware. I
Mm,
think that's even where the problem lies, that, we are so delusional at times that we don't even want to look at options, what is available out there.
mm,
When
mm,
Sister Liwe was talking about um, being looked down upon, people do not even look down upon our choices in terms how we choose to mother our children. People
mm.
also look down upon at what we do, and forgetting,
Yes.
that sometimes we may be focused on that office job, but it doesn't
Mm,
even give you enough money to sustain you. When
yes.
you're selling those millies out there in a baki, in an open field, could be making you
Mm,
more money than you would get at the office. I'm not saying that everyone
Mm,
should quit jobs and go and sell millies,
yes.
but
Mm,
even as women, we have this judgmental attitude. And at the
mm,
end of it all, there is no right or wrong answer, because
mm,
you are not living my life. You don't know what my situation is. And of
mm,
course, earlier on, Sis Tandiwe was talking about the support system as well. It also plays a role. I did not just wake up one day and said, I'm living this and I'm going to pursue this. There were
mm,
people that I had to engage. I had to speak to my husband.
mm,
I
mm,
even had to speak to my mother. My mother is still alive. I even had to speak to my mother-in-law, so that, at times when I need that support, I need that backup, They are there, they are available. Because for me, it was not even very much difficult because they knew, they were aware of what my journey entailed. So when that time came to say, you know, this is where the buck stops, this is what I need to
Yes.
pursue, this is what, I got their full support. So for me, I would say that, if we live by society's expectations, if we live by um, what will people say syndrome, we are still going to suffer. And at the end of the day, no one is on standby who is coming to rescue us. We really need to stand up for ourselves, to dictate how we want to chart um, this pathway for ourselves, this pathway for our families. No one can do it for you. You need to do it for yourself. And of course, I was speaking to I'll be very brief, one of my family members as well. She was in a situation where she worked in one province, her husband and the children were in another province. She had a government job, she had medical aid, everything. But when the children were in their formative years, the teenage years, she took a decision that this was no longer working for me. And now I'm talking about well grounded. She had a vision, she had a goal about her family, how she wanted to raise her children. She sacrificed her job, to go and be a stay at home mom, and her children are
Yes.
thriving. What more can you ask for? So there is no formula. It's about, how you want things for yourself, how you want to raise your children, and what you wish for them going forward.
Yes, there is no formula. It's about what you vision, it's what you wish for your family. You don't have to look at the neighbor, but of course, other people's experiences can help you to be able to
Yes.
shape your very own vision. And I would like to believe, Prudent Women, in this show, it has actually tried to spark the conversation. Some of you, those of you who are in between, there is something there that will help you to say, this is the decision that I'm taking, will help you to say, no, I'm deciding to start a family, even though my desire is to become a CEO, because we need the future. Without us women giving birth, there is no future. South Africa is doomed. We do not want to be like other nations where they are recruiting young people to come through. You go to such nations, you walk throughout, you don't find a young person, because I think they forgot about striking a balance. As we are saying, what's important is to strike a balance. We need to be able to raise families even as we go after our vision, because as a young person, or as you were growing, you had an intention to become something. You have your view of saying, I want to be a director, I want to be a CEO, but that does not mean you cannot carry on all these other God ordained responsibilities that we have been given. The Lord saw us fit to make us to be mothers, to give us that responsibility of being mothers. I would like us, our guests, as they say bye to you, to say something, to just to encourage these mothers, everyone who's listening, to continue with this difficult journey of being a mother, to continue with taking those decisions that are more difficult to take, because it does not only affect them, but it affects as well their own family members and their children. I would like to start with you, says Tandiwe. As you bid farewell, how will you like to encourage mothers to continue with this God ordained responsibility?
First and foremost, I must say that I love being a mother. It's one of the therapeutic journeys that I've undertaken. It feels so good to go to work and come back, and someone is looking forward to seeing you, giving you those warm hugs, feeling so special after a very, very tough day. So it's a lovely journey, and if I could, I would encourage everyone to embark on that, because it is balanceable. But I must say that it's not an easy journey, just like being a stay-at-home mom is not an easy journey, but it's about what you wish to achieve, and also being able to communicate it to the people that you encounter, and the people that you live with, and the people that wish to. There's so much help, either when you
Yes.
are a stay-at-home mom or when you are working. Being able to use all those structures to make you being able to be that lady at work that performs and also performs at home. So it's all possible. And happy Mother's Day to every one of us that is celebrating this day, and those ones that are unable to celebrate this day. May the Lord touch their hearts and comfort them in this difficult day.
Thank you so much, Sis Tandiwe. Yes, we have support. It's just for you to stand up and look for that support in order to be able to make it with your decision of either being a working mom or a stay home or a working at home mom. Sesi Ntwanano, what will you like to say to our viewers?
Oh, okay. I'd like to part short by saying that um, even as a stay-at-home working mom, you really need to have a plan. You really need to have a plan about your life. You just don't wake up, and say, just because I'm a stay-at-home mom, I will still conduct my meetings in gowns. It's so difficult, but at the end of the day, you still need to juggle your day like someone would be going to work. I'm talking about my own situation, and also
Yes.
to say that it really is possible. Let us learn to also communicate our needs, even with the people that we are staying with, even with the children. If you are transitioning, explain things to the children, because sometimes there might be some changes that might be need to be implemented at home. Be open, be transparent to everyone. And if you need help, shout, because most of the time we even drown. We
Yes.
drown with the stresses that we take from outside, we bring them at home. But most importantly, even to the mothers that did not biologically give birth to children, I just want to also acknowledge them as well, to say that you really are doing a lot under the circumstances, and also that, yeah, going forward, I wish all of the mothers, all of the caregivers well in the roles that they are doing. And also to say that, gone are the days where, as mothers, as parents, we did not listen to our children. Let's continue having a vision about, how we want to see them as adults. Simple things, teaching our children manners, how to say thank yous, how to say
Yes.
please. Something that fulfills me as a mother. And also, lastly, to everyone who has tuned in, I know mostly it's women. Let's, get rid of the judgmental attitude. We really don't have to judge each other. Let's just accept each other for who and what we are. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our guests. I would like to believe, Prudent Women, you have learned so much from their experience and them sharing about their lives. And of course, I would like to say thank you to all of you who have joined us on Bold Moves Radio. Those of you who had joined us on Facebook and YouTube pages, thank you so much. And all your comments, we have been seeing them and would like to say thank you very much. We shall be back with you next week, Sunday, same time, that is 4 o'clock until 5 o'clock. And we say, continue and enjoy your Mother's Day, and even enjoy it throughout your lives, because being a mother is such a great thing, to have been given such a responsibility of being a mother, or care for anyone. Of course, even as our guests were saying, even those of you who did not biologically give birth to children, but we say a child is a child for the whole society, and even to the mothers who are taking care of their children all by themselves. I'm talking about the parents who are taking care of their children without their male partners being present, either because of any other circumstance. We would like to say you are a wonderful mother. We should not allow society to judge us. What matters is that we are mothers and there is someone who looks up to us. Thank you very much. I would like to say thank you even to the technical team, DJ Macy, Brothers, and of course, the vision bearer for Bold Moves Radio, Pastor Strike. I would like to say thank you so much. This show will not have come through if it was not for them. And of course, our researcher, Nyeleti, thank you so much. We shall be with you next week, same time, same place. Join us, and of course, continue to send us your comments, continue to send us through any topic that you would like us to handle as Prudent Woman. We are open for you to suggest topics, and we shall be gladly available to make research and bring up people who can be able to empower us. Thank you. Have a blessed afternoon. Enjoy your Mother's Day. Thank you very much.